of 5. And, heroes that are pretty sought after and or banned pretty constantly are a part of that. And then we still are yet to see a Timber, right?
Yeah.
Which puts him at 27 bans, no picks. He's been picked or banned still with all those bans in 79% of games.
So he's been banned in 4/5 of the games without being picked. That's incredible.
Yeah, that's
interesting.
Wild.
I was really hoping to see an FY Wind Ranger at one point as well, but that hero has gone completely untouched so far. Not just by LGD, but by all the teams. So I was a little bit disappointed with that. They also don't seem to like their cheese picks as much, like these Broodmothers and Meepos, as much as the EU teams do. They play a little bit more no cheese.
Yeah, I would have liked to see that Windrunner. I'm also looking at like Ember. He's been in all but one game, I think. Pick M ban wise, which I think is kind of nuts.
That hero's so good though.
Yeah, I mean he's played really well, but his win percentage is only 52. I mean, I guess that's half the games. That's Shadow Demon's the highest of anything over 10 games at 63%.
Gets banned out though. It's funny to see them ban out the Chalice. Sorry, not Chalice. Old 11 Enigma as well, which we've seen LGD first phasing like almost religiously every single game. LGD have like their Shaker so far at this point in the draft. They could go for that Nature's Prophet if they really wanted to as well, but I mean, yeah, like Oracle's still in the pool as well. Disruptor's been a pretty good hero for these teams in the last few days. Feels like they've liked that hero a lot. But okay, can we rescue the Grimstroke win rate?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. Like we said previously, 22.22 win percentage over 18 games. Now going to be a 19th game. And, this is another hero that's been highly contested, a part of picked or banned in 76% of games, and just isn't winning. And it really, I guess, gets a little discouraging for Grimstroke. Do you expect to see this amazing performance? Because he does offer a lot, especially with the right combinations. And now they go Void Spirit Oracle for Will Never Give Up. And that Oracle has been a hero that I think me and you have really liked seeing, and have at times wondered why it wasn't picked in certain situations.
Yeah, and it's really good in a vacuum against the Grimstroke because you can purge off the Inkswell, like you have the minus damage, sorry, not minus damage, and magic resistance spell in the Fate's Edict as well. But I was going to say it was either Ember or Monkey, I think, is the pick here on LGD, and they do go back for that Ember that we were talking about before. Like, it's just too good not to pick at that point, and like it does decently against Void Spirit as well because you have the root to be able to stop him just rolling his head across the keyboard. So they have. I assume this is going to be a mid Void Spirit, by the way. I'm pretty sure nobody else has played it on RNG so far.
Yeah, I wounn't expect it to be a September Void Spirit, not like the Void Spirit we've been seeing from Jinkyu. So most likely Setsu on the Void Spirit, yeah. And I think he played it last night, didn't he? And it went really, really well, if I recall correctly.
He got that really good Aga timing, which helped them no end. But again, I'm going to reiterate it from yesterday. It feels like there's a very small hero pool at the moment that everybody feels is massively viable. Like we've had some picks that have been like thrown in every now and then, but overall, it's been a little bit sad. But I think that happens when you play the regional tournaments, though. If you go to like a big LAN, you kind of have all these different ideas that come in from different regions, so that so many more heroes are picked. But when it's just one region, yeah, they tend to just share the similar ideas because they're playing each other all the time in scrims and things as well. Legion.
Yes. Legion comes in. This is going to be Legion's 7th game. 3-3 overall. So 50% middle of the road kind of offlaner at the moment. The best offlaner win rate wise.
It's
Uh,
Centaur, I think, right?
it might be the Centaur. Earthshaker, I think, is higher. But
Ah, you
Earthshaker's
can't
also
count that
been
though.
played in the 4 and the 3, so it's not
Yeah.
strictly one position.
Um,
Um,
I like this Legion though. It gives them hard lockdown for the Ember, and he's not really going to want to build Lincolns this game. He's going to want to go for that BKB at some point against the Void Spirit. But you also have the double. You have the cleanse against like both these double spells, like the Ink the Swell stun. You can purge off. You can purge off the roots as well, which is really handy. So now you have this double purge between the Oracle and the Legion, and the defensive capability is going to be really strong here. Um, hmm. So they're
it,
probably thinking, what do we want to pick for FY here? Something like the Shaker's still in the pool if they want to go for it.
ooh, FY Tusk is going
Okay.
to come through. Or we've seen that off lane Tusk, so I wonder if it will be the FY Tusk or it is going to be the old 11 Tusk.
I think they'll probably give it to FY just because of the save potential it has as well against the Legion duel.
Hmm.
Um, whenever you play against like Axe or Legion or these really hard initiation heroes, having the snowball is just so useful. Um,
The only game it's won so far was when was played in that off lane with Yang, and now Marana comes in for Royal Never Give Up. They don't exactly have the best arrow setups at the moment. Maybe Aether Remnant, Fortune's End, if you can really get that communication on point. And then I guess if you're in a duel, you're pretty destined to have an arrow coming to your back too.
yeah, I really don't like this Mirana pick. I think it's we've seen it be fall flat on its face really quickly a lot of the time, and I love that pick though. Like now, how is this Mirana going to pressure the Ursa in the loading stage? The
Yeah.
Ursa can just again, it's a melee hero that works well with Inkswell, like we've talked about, but it also just bullies the Legion really hard in the lane. So it'll be interesting to see how RNG set their lanes up. Are they just going to try lane and let the Legion skip waves? Do they actually want to try and play the lane on Legion Mirana?
Hmm.
I'd be very surprised, but could happen.
I will say, that we've been ragging on the Marana because I feel like most of the games we've seen haven't been that impressive. That being said, Royal Never Give Up have played the Marana 3 times this event and have won 3 times with the Marana. Although I would say that the times we've seen the Marana hasn't exactly been too impressive, except for like maybe the game against eHome, because then September went 7-2-14, and that was a pretty impressive Marana game.
Mhm.
I don't really know though. The King Gaming matchup, even then, I don't think was that stellar of a performance. I don't know.
Yeah,
The Marana may fall flat.
I do think September's been okay on that hero. I'm not saying it's like his fault. I'm just not a massive believer still
Yeah,
um, in the abilities of the hero. There's a Timber ban, by the way, as well. Amazing.
gets a
It's
part of
just
the band picks once
it
again.
keeps coming.
And that Ember continues to up the percentage too, because he, like I said, all but one game, I believe he has been picked or banned in, and now we're seeing him get banned
I'm
here or picked up here again.
I'm pretty sure that game was in the first series yesterday as well between um, eHome and RNG.
I think you're right. Yeah,
Because I remember talking about being like, why has nobody picked Ember? And
yeah.
it just got completely ignored. So they're probably looking for an offlaner here on LGD. Some tons of old 11 heroes. They do lack a little bit of team fight, like hard stuns as well. They lack like they've got Root and they've got Inkswell, but like we talked about, they have this double purge on RNG, so they might want to look for something a little bit more solid. Mars is still in the pool if they want to go for it. I don't think it's awful.
Hmm.
Centaur's still in the pool if they want to go for it as well. Centaur Tusk a decent lane.
You know what they
We're
could do
talking about what could they do?
in the off lane? Very good win percentage right now. Venomancer. I mean, it's pretty terrible here, but
Against the two purges.
yeah,
So,
it's pretty garbage. But it does have a good win percentage, and we saw it yesterday. Do pretty well.
Ecup, you got your Paveno game. You got to
Yeah,
stop
I gotta
now.
give it up. I gotta give it up. It's
Yeah.
something I gotta choose a different hero off the target throw a dart there and start nagging you about something else. But I could see the Centaur being a good pickup because, you know, not only will you have the Retaliate stacks, but if Tusk is there, tag team as well as the Retaliate is pretty deadly.
Let's do Tusk 3, Wind Ranger 4. Let's go.
I wouldn't mind that either. Ooh,
Oh,
Bristle.
okay,
That's
yeah.
pretty good. Yeah, I like that.
They don't go for the lockdown route with their draft. They go for the "we're going to run at you" draft, and like have these really tanky heroes at the front with Inkswell on them that are just going to face rush you. And we've seen Old 11 Bristle absolutely destroy this tournament once already. So I do wonder what they're going to go for here. They need some like.
Okay,
Okay.
Monet Gyro. That's a very safe pick for Roy Never Give Up. Monet's a very good gyro player.
I mean, the thing for me is like, how does this Oracle stop the Bristle from just creep cutting, which is what we saw Old 11 do before, right?
Yeah.
But especially if FY comes over on the Tusk to protect him as well. Like they're going to need the September Marana to rotate through to stop him from doing it. And even then, like they just don't have a huge amount of damage on their two supports on RNG. I also love that Ursa set, the Woodland. What is it? I can't remember what it's called,
The
but
Woodland
the really
Striders?
expensive one. Yeah,
Oh, the Ursa set, the Alpine
yeah,
Ursa set.
Alpine.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the one.
I don't know why I thought you said Woodland Striders set. It doesn't exist. But yeah, the Alpine Ursa, and then you've got the FY cosmetic, the Bleak Hallucination Fist cosmetic. Always a good one.
That feels pretty good.
He's got that on both his Rubik as well as his Tusk. So I'm always excited. That's when you know it's going to be a good game, when the cosmetics are dope.
That's when you know they've played too many games on that hero, because they're the ones they care about.
That's when because you know it too. You're like, FY's got this really cool cosmetic on X hero, and you're like, well, you've seen it so many times that you would remember that. What's the Bristles win rate right now? It's okay. He's only been in 3 games. Really?
Yes, yeah. Feels like some teams just don't like playing him at all at the moment, though. But LGD have been.
They played him twice,
really...
won him twice. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's been banned out a lot against them as well. So they haven't had the opportunity to play it all the time, which I'm sure Old 11 probably would have. Let's be honest. If you look at RNG's damage, it's all like mid game orientated though, right? Like they want to come online when Gyro gets BKB, Void Spirit gets Ags, and Legion gets like Blink Blade Mail or something. And that's going to be like we need to run down lanes and just start taking fights over and over again, because they don't have cooldowns to wait for. Like Gyro's really good with that. You can just fight constantly all the time. But then if you look at like what LGD have, they don't mind scrapping. Like look at that bear. He wants to get involved in a fight. This guy's ready.
I don't know if he wants to get involved in a fight or a duel out in the wild west.
FY by the way, that effect's going to be so annoying. I haven't seen that in ages. He's going to go and try and put a ward down on the bottom side of the Radiant River, just to see when this Marana's coming through towards the mid lane.
Is it RNG who's been playing that ward here?
No, I'm pretty sure that was LGD. But they want to see the Marana rotate more importantly this time, right?
Ooh, Void Spirit.
Oh, their smoke just got broken. Interesting.
They're wrapping around over towards top. Good. I like this ward here from September too. It's not it's not watching a rune or anything, but I certainly feel like that's good, some decent vision inside the jungle.
I'm pretty sure Super's going to know that they have a ward over here now after X-Nova's smoke broke right next to the location. Because if they've been watching the games, like they'll understand that they placed this ward yesterday. Not yesterday, sorry, LGD, when they last played, I mean. But we'll see.
The battle begins.
Interested to see what X-Nova chooses to on this Grimstroke build. We've been paying attention to that a lot. The different Grimstrokes builds that we've been seeing from like DY and Ollie and all the position 5. So I think this might be one of the only games that we've seen X-Nova on the Grimstroke. I don't think we've seen him there too much. Maybe one other time.
Yeah, I think he's played it at least once from what I remember.
Yeah, because we've seen him on like Enchantress as well, I believe.
Look at this block bot lane, by the way. Disgusting. They're actually doing a really good job. On LGD side, I mean.
So this lane is Old 11 and FY tag team early. Is there really any reason that we're going to see a level 1 kill from the side of LGD, or really even RNG either?
Probably not. I expect, you know, when they get level 2 or so on the bristle, the FY's just going to go and creep cut with his boots, and then just stack up some waves to the bristle. I'd really like to see them stack Ancients as well on this LGD side. I think in this bot side of the map, when you have the bristle on your team, you can just rush Vanguard after Soul Ring, and just go and, you know, even at level 7, just go and clear through those Ancient stacks.
Trying to get the pull. And, ooh, I think Super messed that up. I mean, it was contested, but doesn't end up getting the pull here, and just the homing missile thrown from Monet. I like that they've also blocked this camp up towards top. You know, very important, I feel like, to get this camp blocked out and make sure that you can keep the creep equilibrium where you want it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's... I'm sorry, I just pinged for no reason. Does that go through to other casters, by the way, in like other languages and things? If you ping,
I know, like,
if you
so, because I ping a lot.
Yeah,
Or I ping a decent amount. I think pinging the items does.
I'm not really like, I feel like I'm not really in the zone today. I'm like, there's so many interesting things I'm trying to look at. Like, how this bot lane's going, I think, is really important for the Bristol at the start of the game, like, and how they pull and things. But this mid lane's so, like, back and forth as well, right? Like, Void Spirit's doing super well at the moment, but yeah, like, the thing is, he's gone 0-2-1 just so he can get through the Flame Guard of Ember, and it means maybe he's really struggling. And we haven't seen this skill build before, ever, on a Void Spirit, I don't think. Like, not taking any Aether Remnant by level 4.
I see a lot of nothing.
It's very new to me, but yeah, because of the Flame Guard just constantly disappearing, maybe he's really struggling to get CS in this lane because he can't push waves out.
I think I've seen the something something build from Void Spirit, but that was like originally when he came out. Like
Yeah.
First week, but it hasn't been that way in a long time.
Yeah, it's definitely not a new build, but we definitely haven't seen it this tournament from what I remember.
Yeah, I agree.
This Gyro's got 5 CS, by the way.
Jesus.
I mean, Monet's really struggling, and that wave just started pushing in right at the start of the game, and so I think he's at least missed like basically a whole wave under the LGD mid bot tier 1 because he just couldn't get to the creeps.
And that goes back to super unable to make the pull.
Yeah, 100%. Does he have a stick on Gyro? Yeah, he does. Okay. And Super has one as well. The Oracle. 4-minute rune battle. X-Nova versus September.
Inkswell, Starstorm, and this will pop. September does have Leap, but he also gets to go Invis, so he doesn't have to leave the sights of X-Nova in that way. Somnus taking a lot of damage. Stroke of Fate, arrows there. September getting first blood.
I'm really surprised maybe died to that because, you know, they just saw that there was a Miranda picking up an Invis rune. I feel like you've got to know that's going to be coming. Flywind did much better top on this Legion than I thought he would as well. Chalice has that Orb of Venom, but, you know, Legion's such a naturally quick hero that if Chalice struggles to get the first hit off, and then can't really ever have kill potential.
Void Spirit taking a lot of damage over mid. Goes to the Dissimulate. Somnus, though, trying to commit to this kill. Puts himself under tower to the point where he's taking a couple of shots. It does have that bottle, but doesn't end up getting the kill on Setsu, and they'll force the rotation from September.
Yeah, and Mirana TP's mid as well and refills the bottle of the Void Spirit, so Setsu having a really good time here. I mean, he has 31 last hits in 5 minutes, which is like pretty much every single one.
We'll say, though, the Gyro is still heavily struggling. And I say that, but Rocket Barrage comes in. FY trying to get the save, and the Purifying Flames are there to get the kill on Old 11. I didn't really expect him to go down, especially with the lack of anything that Monet's gotten in this bottom lane.
I don't think Old 11 minds too much dying there, to be honest. Like, he's low mana anyway. It's not great for him, obviously, but it could be worse. And September's going to come down here. I think he wants to arrow the... He wanted to try and arrow the catapult in case they started pushing in on the Dire side, but they got the kill, so he feels much better about everything.
Expectations altered.
Oh, Rune Spawn's bot. September's going to be able to pick that one up. And I love what RNG have got going with these active runes, by the way, because Mirana has bottle and so does Setsu. So no matter where the rune spawns, they're going to get healing efficiency out of this.
Illusion.
And I think September does this every Mirana game, right, with the bottle. I'm pretty sure, from what we've seen.
I think he and Kaka do that, yeah. This isn't exactly the FY Tusk I thought we'd see either. I feel like he hasn't really done much of anything, but there isn't much kill potential with the Bristle immediately.
Yeah, I thought he would come and try and play with the Ursa more. Because, you know, when you have the... Oh, hang on, bot lane.
Committing to a snowball so far. Stroke of Fate lands from X Nova. A lot of damage being done with Purifying Flame sitting on the FY. Now he's starting to heal the Inkswell. Stuns
Arrow
up
coming
this
through.
Gyro. But there's the arrow. Rocket Barrage starts. They get the kill. X Nova's the one who kills off Monet. They will trade Old 11 and X Nova for the life of the Gyro and a rotation coming in from Setsu. So a 2-for-1 with heavy rotations coming in.
Oh, you'll take that every day for RNG. I mean, really nice arrow by September as well. Just coming through and clipping the Bristle in the back, just as it was about to despawn. But at least Ember gets some kind of like space a little bit in the mid lane here. I say that September's just TP'd mid to you know, take some of that juicy XP.
And then on top of that, Somnus did find himself a Royal Jelly, passes it over to the Ursa.
Yeah, I mean, that's so good for this hero, for the Ursa, especially because of the mana issues he has now without the level 10 talent of the mana regen.
In trouble. Well, no, never mind. He astral stepped forward and then nothing happened.
So yeah, the point I was going to make before is I'm surprised Ursa hasn't, Tusk hasn't tried to link up with Ursa yet already, because especially when you have the overpower with tag team, like the damage that can come out in that lane is incredible.
I'm surprised there hasn't been any Tusk movements towards top. He's continually stayed here over in the bottom lane.
They've also made one stack on the Ancients on LGD, which is...
Shard, Snowball, super in trouble. There was the tag team. Call down comes in, and Monet maybe looking to commit somewhere. Rocket Barrage on the old 11. X Nova puts the Inkswell out on the Bristle, but he stands still for a moment and almost gets hit by this arrow flying in from September.
Ooh, close. Monet is having a difficult time down here, though, on the gyro. We talked about CS, but he's also just getting pressured super hard. At least they're reacting on RNG, which is really nice, but yeah, even so. He's actually just going straight Basher on the Ursa as well, which I kind of like here. We talked about their lack of good lockdown. And hard stuns. Basher definitely going to help that.
It used to be Phase Boots Abyssal was like a crazy Ursa build that we were seeing a couple of weeks ago or maybe a couple of months ago. Now it's changed into the Treads instead of the Phase Boots, and we still do see that Basher every now and then first item.
They really want to go for this Ursa here. They're trying to punish him. They've got the jewel.
Let's see if they can grab him. Arrow hits. He pops the Enrage. Now they're waiting for it. Setsu taking a lot of damage. Oh, MVP Centaur. MVP Centaur just saves his life.
Dude, that feels so good. The Legion was waiting to duel because when you pop Enrage now on Ursa, you get status resistance. And so he doesn't want to duel him before the ult ends. Oh.
That's wild.
Chalice is like, man, I'm so good. I definitely did that on purpose.
Yeah.
I knew that a Centaur camp would be there.
I'm a bear, he's a Centaur. We got that animal communication.
Yeah.
The prize is mine.
But they did manage to kill Super in the bot lane at the same time on the Oracle. So this tower in dire straits now in the bot lane.
Have they gotten all the same tier 1 items so far?
Bottom tower is under
yes, they have. Only 2, but still.
Who's taking that broom handle, guys, on Dire? Come on. Don't let it go to waste.
Ursa?
Yeah, I would assume it would be Ursa. I mean, Ember's okay as well.
Ooh, they smoked mid, and they're going to use
He
this
has a haste
smoke
rune. Ooh.
to go towards top. By the way, they also took the tier 1 bottom. It's Bristle just continuing to push uncontested for the moment.
And this is exactly what we saw from Old 11 last time as well.
Chalice moving forward, looking over for Flywin. They don't have any detection, but let's see if they can still get this kill. They will. They've got the sentry down. There it is. Okay. That came, I believe, a little bit late from X-Nova. At the beginning, they didn't have detection.
Yeah, that's a really sad for Morana as well. With that first Moonlight Shadow, it usually takes teams by surprise, but X-Nova, well prepared, has the sentry ready.
He almost didn't show up in time, though, but that's good communication to have them kind of meet
mid lane as well?
at that moment. Tusk is still alive. 8th Arena. He's got a snowball. Setsu's got to be very careful. He's got Dissimulate. He also has the Astral Step. Somnus, though, he's got the haste. So he's going to keep up with this Void Spirit, and Setsu most likely going to die here and will die to FY.
Yeah, really well played, actually. I didn't think the Tusk was going to be so highly leveled, so when he started going on the Void Spirit mid with level 7, I was like, oh my god, this punch actually does damage now. Like...
And they are making stacks here on the Ancients for the Dire side as well.
Yeah, exactly what we said. You need to make sure you're enabling this Bristle. I assume he is going to go for that Vanguard first. It's a really good game for it, up against the Gyrocopter, the Legion Commander as well. You know, we talked about how they don't have a huge amount of damage coming through on their team. Like, it's all mid-game orientated. So all these damage reduction items that you're going to get are going to help massively. He might end up going Solar Crest as well. It's really useful against the duel too.
Son is taking some damage, or by some I mean half his health pool at the moment. Meanwhile, Bristle going to commit to trying to clean up this stack, like you said, to go get that Vanguard. So just working on. He's also working on this top camp right here. So you're getting both at the same time. And I believe he was trying to stack. He ends up getting the stack on this one, but not the Ancient stack.
Sad times.
He got one, though. You know, you got to give it to him as he's farming, like, just in this little spot, hoping that it stays out of, you know, both boxes.
I mean, his net worth is now in a really strong position. Like, he's pretty much joint top at the moment with the Ursa. And he has 1,600 gold. I'm really interested to see what he goes first, whether it is that Vanguard, or if it's like a medallion or something.
Well,
oh, he's going to go Hood.
Okay. He had the Vanguard, I believe, originally queued up.
I mean, the Hood's really good as well, though, right? Like, any kind of damage reduction for him is super good this game. There's all the Gyro Magic damage, there's the Morana, there's the Oracle as well. He has Sanj queued up on the Legion, by the way. So I don't know if he's just rushing Halberd. Don't know how I feel about that.
And then Ember goes Vanguard. First item.
Interesting. So it is a good Vanguard game. You know, I'm not lying.
This will hasten.
Ooh, they found the Void Spirit. Snowball's going to stay with him, but goes into the Dissimulate, uses that second Astral Step. No shards or anything, but that is also because he is hasted.
I love that X-Nova's level 6, by the way, and he's holding a skill point to see if he wants to level up Soulbind or not.
So far, things pretty calm.
Yeah, it's slowed down quite a bit, hasn't it? But again, we're going to talk about it every day. The first game of every single series we see feels really like low tempo. I think the biggest like outsider of that was the IG Asta series yesterday, where they just ran at each other non-stop. But even then, it felt like the start to the game was really slow. Are they going to smoke here on OGD? I think. Yeah, okay. So they have the Basher on Chalice, and they're like, okay, well, this is a really good power spike for us. Let's just try and smoke up and see if we can find something. Are they going to go Roche? I was going to say, I think you want to look for a kill here first instead.
He's at least going to go for the Vanguard. We'll see if he finishes off the Abyssal Blade in full afterwards. But they make their way towards top. And RNG haven't exactly left themselves, you know, to linger too far. Snowball under the tower, looking for Flywin. They'll have the Bristle join in, and now with the Walrus Punch, as well as the damage, they should be able to get the kill. The Phantom's Embrace is out onto the Legion Commander.
Arrow?
Followed up with a kill. Arrow hits onto this Ursa. A lot of damage being done on a Chalice. He just gets that ult off, but will fall the homing missile. So now the False Promise comes in, Super surviving. They get the kill on X Nova, and 2 heroes gone on the side of LGD with Setsu joining the fight. FY goes down, they lose Monet. Continuing the fight, though, is Old 11. They miss the arrow, so Somnus will take advantage of that by killing off September. They've got the Aether Remnant pulling in Old 11, but the Purifying Flames don't get the kill, so it'll heal up this Bristleback a little bit. Sleight of Fist, Remnant forward, looking for Setsu onto the cliff, now back down. And Setsu continuing to fight, but there's the Searing Chains. Flywin nearby, press the attack to Simulate. But Old 11 is still here.
Oh, Setsu, man.
Fortune's End with the dual. Setsu gonna style on Somnus, get the kill, get the dual victory for Flywin. But Old 11 will continue to chase. Now he's got that Yules. Up in the air goes the Bristleback, the Dissimile, over and away from Old 11.
Okay,
Just
X-Nova,
standing
though.
there, though,
Chalice.
is X-Nova, as well as Chalice coming back in. Flywin in trouble. He'll end up dead. Arrow flies in and is eaten by X-Nova because they got the kill on a Super as well as this Legion.
There's no leaps.
A lot of damage being done here to September. Monet comes back into the fight. Chalice gets a double kill, taking out Setsu. It's over at September. Meanwhile, X-Nova dies for the second time entirely in this fight as Monet gets the kill there.
Dude, Old 11 this fight, he's an absolute nutter, man. Like, he plays on the edge on this hero so well. And he's so tanky with that hood as well, like, because the Gyro's magic damage isn't anywhere near as strong, as well as the Void Spirits. So,
Radiant structures
yeah.
are fortified.
We said RNG are going to want to play these really early team fights because they have 3 cores that come online at a good time. Unfortunately, Bristle, Ursa, and Ember come online a little bit quicker.
Radiant's middle
And
tower
like we said,
has
they're not going to be
fallen.
afraid to scrap. And you're definitely seeing that from LGD so far.
Not only are they not afraid to scrap, but they scrapped with 2 lives. A bunch of heroes on LGD died and then came back to the fight once again. Oh, September, not the neighborhood you want to be in. Oh my, and now Monet, he might be the next victim of this continual pressure from LGD. They've got the shards placed perfectly. Here come the quills, here comes the damage. Old 11 again, though, taking a bunch of shots. He'll back off, and I believe Monet should be able to survive with the False Promise from Super, keeping him up and about.
Yeah, they're going to ping out this Roche as well. They have Ursa and they have Tag Team as well on the Tusk. So this Roche can die so quickly. And they've got the goo as well. Think about that.
Are scanning. Dire's middle tower.
Oh, nice arrow from
Remnant.
September.
Somnus,
Help them rush.
duel, that'll hold the Ember in place. They've got the Soulbind onto the Oracle as well as the Gyro. Somnus doesn't die yet.
Oh,
They've
that
now got the
Inkswell.
Aegis into the hands of the Chalice, and the Inkswell lands perfectly. They'll go after Monet. They'll get the kill on a Super as well. 2 heroes gone on the side of RNG. They no longer have buyback, but a great overwhelming odds from the Legion Commander. It'll help get the kill on a Somnus, but they still do lose September. A lot of these heroes hanging low on LGD, but they'll be able to TP and get out of this one.
Top tower is under
Everybody on
attack.
LGD is so low. This game's so fun to watch. This is exactly what I wanted, though, from these 2 teams. We talked about how RNG, they love to play that tempo game yesterday, and we know LGD enjoy it as well. So yeah, they pick up these 3 cores that all enjoy scrapping early on both teams. And it feels like this Inkswell, though, is the big one in the fights at the moment. You saw, it's like a full duration 4-point Inkswell landed on the Gyro and the Legion, just outside the Roche pit. And it's a 3.7 second, 400 damage nuke in an AoE.
Really disgusting, and he did go to the 2-1-4, not the 2-3-2 that we've been seeing from some other heroes, or some other players.
Ollie!
I wasn't naming names, Mo. Dual Fortune's End. All right,
That's a drill to stop him
take
taking the outpost.
And Old 11's just going to continue to, just stand there and eat all this damage. They get the kill on the Courier of Super and Super himself. They'll take out the life of September, so 2 heroes already gone, and then a 3rd falling as Setsu bites the dust. I mean, this is LGD just... I mean, they've jumped down the throats of RNG, and they haven't exactly climbed back up for air yet.
Yeah, and they're so tanky though in the fights. Like all 3 of their cores have Vanguard on LGD. So where's the damage coming from on RNG's side? There's nothing coming through at the moment. Gyro's tickling. Like he's going for Ags after the Maelstrom, and I guess he's thinking, well, the BKB doesn't even really help me here massively. Like I don't know how we're gonna do damage if I'm not hitting
Dire's top
people.
tower
So
is under attack.
gonna try and go for that build that helps him scale a little bit. FY has Blink now as well on the
Radiant's bottom
Tusk.
tower is under attack.
It's actually going to be coming out in the courier really
Dire's
soon.
top tower has fallen.
This tier 2 is destined to fall. Fuels was used over mid, and Old 11
Has fallen.
getting caught by himself. And everybody's here except for the Legion to get that kill. September, Walrus Punch, Snowball, a genius snowball to Super, so it stuns up both September and Super to get the kill. FY on it. That was beautiful.
There's a DD maybe here as well.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
If you see maybe's build on this Ember, by the way, you've gone Vanguard, Blade Bound, and he's going back for the Radiance again. I mean, he's going to be so difficult to kill, and then this Radiance is going to be burning away at you throughout the whole fight. It's so funny watching pro players try and last it under tier 2 towers now, especially catapults. They're like ridiculously hard to kill now, just because of how much damage the tier 2 towers do. And it takes a little while to adjust to like it, because when you last it under tower, under tier 2s especially, you kind of do everything by feel, rather than knowing exactly how many hits it's going to take. Super.
Blink, Walrus Punch, Snowball, and Super forced to use that false promise. Chalice now turns his attention as he's got the Abyssal Blade. So he looks over at the Mirana. September sitting low, false promise running out, and they'll get a kill on a September. Super just makes it away with Moonlight Shadow. But LGD continuing, just look at where they are. Look at where this pressure is constantly coming from.
They're diving tier 3s at 22 minutes into the game when the tier 2's still up. I mean, this is what I mean. What are they afraid of? Like, they're all so tanky. This Legion's standing here like, team? Like, what do we do, guys? The only reason they killed the Bristle is because Old 11 was just sitting by himself in the middle lane before.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Yet another tower, and that Abyssal Blade. I don't know if... Was it in that last bottom fight as well? When they killed Super and September?
No, it wasn't, but it was. He had it in that mid engagement just there.
Yeah,
So-
and that's where it got revealed. Because I'm not certain that September was expecting that. Fly win, Blink, Walrus Punch. Now the shards come in. Yes, the arrow hits the Bristle, but now what? What do you do to try and kill this Bristle? Somnus comes in with the Remnant. They've got the Aether Remnant down to try and deter this LGD side, but Old 11's happy to just put his head into it. They get the kill on a Somnus. I don't know if the
This is
Ember was
too far,
expecting
guys.
to die like that. Yeah, this is diving too far. This is diving TI-8 style. Oh boy. Might want to pull up on the reins here as Snowball, Blink, FY? Okay. FY's just free to leave.
He might catch the
as-
Ursa here though as well.
Ooh, arrow, good duration arrow, and that's a kill on a Chalice.
Dire's
That's so
top tower
sloppy,
is under
like
attack.
unbelievably sloppy. Because the thing is, if you dive like that, if you've already got one kill, it's a little bit easier, right? Because they're already on the retreat. But this yeah, this Ember can't just dive in like that when there's a duel. I think he thought he's like completely unkillable. He has a lot of dead net worth on his hero at the moment as well. Like he's got 2.6k spare
Dire's
gold.
middle tower is under
I know you've got a
attack.
Vanguard, and we talked about how tanky you are, but unfortunately, when you're fighting under tier 3 towers, and there's 5 heroes there ready and waiting, it doesn't quite have the same effect. And it's, all of a sudden, there's only a 1k net worth lead, and they're going mid.
They're going to try this once again. Arrow flying through. That's going to hit on Old 11. They're doing a lot of damage on the
again?
Gyro as the Void and the Void Spirit, but they get the kill on a Somnus, and this just isn't going to work out for them. Aether Remnant, Old 11 getting locked down continually. It's a good save from FY, but they lose the Ember for a 5th time.
Somnus just needs to chill his beans a little bit.
Not quite as slow.
It's the phrase I've just made up.
Chill his beans.
I'm really surprised that Ursa didn't go BKB second item, by the way. The Chalice went for this Blink instead. which is it's like okay because they're playing against Oracle, so they need to be able to bring him down quickly and at the start of the fight. So like Ursa can 100 to 0 him so easily with this Abyssal Blink.
Dire's top tower
But
is under attack.
do you really need the blink though if you've got not only FY who's got a blink Walrus Punch Snowball to keep him locked down for a substantial amount of time, and you've got the jump from the Abyssal Blade?
Well, it's the Abyssal Blade like cast range. Like the Oracle's going to be standing so far at the beginning of the fight, right? And they're going to use the blinks for different things. Like FY doesn't want to have to use this blink to get on the backline and kill the Oracle. Like he wants to be using it defensively to try and save people from this like massive burst damage in the duel, or like from the Monet cooldown into the damage that comes through from him. So they do have different
Dire's
uses.
top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Setsu has the Axe now, by the way, on the Void Spirit, so his team fighting potential is much stronger than it was before.
Also, Ember's going BKB, switches off of that Radiance, and then BKB for the Ursa, then MKB, but he is quite a ways out from that BKB, and you take a look at where the net worth is, you thought it was this big lead for Chalice and the Ember, the way they've been playing, but in reality, now you've got the Gyro and the Void Spirit sitting 1-2.
Yeah, unfortunately, they were doing really well before that bot fight, and then I think it was 4 of them died or something, right? Just it felt like for a little bit for no reason. And when you're playing this tempo game, Gyro's built to scale, right? And nobody on LGD has built to scale. So, you know, that taking that one bad engagement in the bot lane has completely turned the game around. And I actually think RNG are pretty favoured now, just because of the items that they've built so far.
I'll come in with Moonlight Shadow as well as the smoke. Don't find anybody just yet, though.
They need to try and get the Soulbind on the Void Spirit in the fight, I think. If they can try and bring him down quickly. He's like target number 1 after the Oracle. Obviously, Oracle always has to die first, but... Orb of Destruction for the Legion. It's really nice. They might give that to the Gyro. Maybe going to come and clean up an Ancient stack as well. Really nice.
That'll get him close to his BKB.
Oh, and there's a Paladin sword as well that the I assume the Ursa's going to take. Or possibly even Bristle, to be honest.
For my coffers.
He's
Yeah,
got
he does.
clumsy. Yeah, he sends back the clumsy net, and guess I'll take the the Paladin sword.
And they're going to take the Titan Sliver on Gyro, so really good item for him. They're going to be cursing that they haven't got a Paladin sword on the Radiant side so far. That there's one more item to go for them. That item on Gyro when he has Satanic is so unbelievably broken. Like he has Axe. If he gets Axe Satanic Paladin sword, his lifesteal throughout the fights is going to be insane.
Ooh, Chalice just lost the Mindbreaker. Can they kill Setsu though? Aether Remnant down, Snowball, Dissimulate, that'll pull him in. Now the Astral Step to leave. Meanwhile, Chalice is in Roche. Ooh!
He didn't steal
September
anything.
tried for it. Now they've got the Abyssal Blade, but the press the attack is out. Chalice moving forward, he's disarmed and can't get any
want the
shots in
Oracle.
on a Super, but they are around him. Arrow hits onto the Bristleback. They've got Super Invis for the moment, but once he's back in a vision, they'll get the kill, they'll take out the Oracle, and they've got themselves at least one in the Aegis.
Orb of Destruction as well for the Dire side. Amazing Ursa, right? He's going to say, well, I didn't want the Mindbreaker anyway. It's fine, guys, don't worry.
Made my decision for me.
Yeah.
Appreciate it,
This-
RNG.
This Gyrocopter is really scary now, though. Like, when he starts fighting with his team again. And I think this Butterfly timing is going to be the big thing for him. Like, when the Butterfly timing comes online, and they don't really have any way of dealing with it on LGD at the moment. Especially because Ursa hasn't even finished his BKB yet, right? MKB might take a little bit of time to come out. Okay.
September? Going down and shards. Oh, just a touch short. But meanwhile, mid, they've got the Aether Remnant. That'll lock down Somnus. However, Setsu taking a lot of damage, and he does not have an Astral Step.
Tower is under attack.
Oh dear. He
And,
he has buyback here as well, and I think they're gonna try and make him use it. The course of RNG ever since that bot fight haven't played together, and they're just getting picked off one by one. Like not even just the cores, but all the heroes. Like, September just jumping into that Roche pit to try and steal something, and then his Void Spirit just gets picked off mid. A little bit sloppy from them in the last few minutes or so. And all of a sudden, you know, we talked about how they were the back in the game. I think they've put themselves further behind than where they were in the first place. Look at that big curve in the middle of the net worth graph now.
Jesus.
LGD just do a big 180. They're like, oh, actually, no, we can win this game. Don't worry.
They're trying to make a heart. They're going to do it again. And that's going to come back all the way down in their favor. And they're going to go back in time to close it up.
Nice,
Dire
nice.
are scanning.
Very smart.
FY's just done such a good job. He's going Ags? Please, tell me this game goes long enough where you can get Ags.
Sure. Why not?
Right now, I'd love to see it. Right now, he's the Mike Tyson. But he could become the Mirko Krokop with that kick.
Who does he even kick though? I guess maybe the Legion in the duel or something. But I guess like if he can like kick the Oracle away, so that when the rest of his team are going on a hero, the Oracle can't save them. That'd be pretty good. I love that he has Imp Claw on Tusk, by the way. His punches when he initiates on people are going to be crazy, with this Imp Claw damage coming through as well at the same time.
I wish he had that taunt. Yeah,
I think he does, right?
Was he using it? I don't know. I feel like he'd be
Yeah, he does have it. He has the Fight Me taunt on Tusk.
He should be using it every time he gets a kill.
Yeah. These guys aren't BM players.
They should have learned by now to be ones though.
They just dive tier 3s. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, you can't BM when you die under tier 3s.
I like this more from RNG though. Like if you look what they're doing now, they understand that there's so much pick-off potential with the Tusk and the Ursa at the moment that they're just going to try and stick as a group more now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning.
He's getting close, man. I mean, he's not close, but he's close. You know? 1,700 gold saved up for FY. I feel like it's a good chunk getting into this Ags. I hope he stays with the Ags. I'd be very disappointed if he switches to something else.
I think he might have they got a Solar Crest on anybody? No, they don't. I was going to say he might end up going Solar Crest instead, but...
Do they not?
But I'm
They don't.
so much more.
No, he's committed. He's got the point booster.
They've got the Ember going back for the Radiance now, and he's got 3,300 gold, getting close to that Sacred Relic.
Yeah, I don't mind that too much. I mean, Radiant's still an okay item this game, even just for the mischance as well against the Gyro is really nice, and the Legion. And because he's built so tanky as well, like you build Radiance on these heroes that are supposed to survive a long time in the fights, right? Like you think of like Wraith King and things. Like Bloodseeker in the past was another one that people used to build Radiance a lot on. Not so much anymore, but...
Morris Punch, 80% crit edition at level 20. Used to be 100. Definitely got a strict 20% there. But he's going to be coming in and hitting hard. Like, it will be a disgusting initiation. Like you said, with that Imp Claw and with that talent, who survives? Or, like, how much are you going to be losing there?
I reckon Gyro probably loses a third of his HP to a punch if he takes that talent.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
He might take the Ice Shards as well. I think he'll probably take the punch just because he has the Imp Claw. But... yeah, and he clears waves in, like, both his spells because he took the talent of 15 for the snowball damage. So that feels really nice.
Only 1,400 gold away from picking up this Ags. Chalice, meanwhile, like I said, he's going into the MKB. He still has himself a full duration BKB, and I believe so does the Ember, yeah.
Okay, so Monet has a butterfly now. I actually think this is RNG's time that they should really try and make something happen because they're getting choked out of the map. Like more and more by the minute. All of a sudden they're a 10k net worth down because they only got... Did they get one of the bounties there, I think? Yeah, they did. Like, got to be trying to make a move here on RNG now. Your Gyro's like the most farmed hero in the game. He feels really strong. He's got Rapier queued up next, which I 100% agree with as well. Like, they're not going to win a fight unless Monet's doing damage.
Does anybody have Halberd for him?
They have Halberd on the Bristle.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Halberd works on the Ags, though, from Gyro. I haven't tested that before.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And next Roche is at minimum 44 seconds away.
The game has
This
slowed
is-
down a lot again, though.
Yeah, I'm surprised because LGD, it seemed like they were looking to pressure, and maybe they're a little gun shy on that. I don't know. They're up 10,000 net worth. Could be just also complacent in farming. They want to finish the Radiance, which they have. They're getting another Halberd on Somnus. They're looking for the MKB here for Chalice. Not the worst items to finish out on, you know?
I think they're probably waiting for the Tusk Ags, and they're going to wait for the BKB on Bristol as well. I think they're the two big ones.
Whoa.
Why does X-Nova have an E-Blade? What?
If anything, I feel like his Ags before E-Blade would have been well worth it.
It's not a great Axe game. Like Gyrocopter, because you don't get the Scepter when you take it over. So it's kind of like meh. The E-Blade's really good though to stop the Gyro from attacking, because he doesn't have BKB. Remember,
Yeah.
and you can just explode somebody really quickly as well with the double E-Blade if you wanted to on your ult.
Oh, and Leveler for him now.
Oh my
Jesus.
god.
This Gyro is going to be a mess to deal with. And we'll see if they can get the kill. They've got the Abyssal and the Inkswell, so they're going to jump real far in. They're going to look to get the kill on a Super. They take him out immediately. That means no false promise. They've also taken out September. They don't have buyback on either of those heroes. They look to get the kill on a Monet, who pops the Satanic,
Oh, the
surviving for now.
disarm.
FY goes into the Yules, and they get the kill on a Monet. They take him out. He's got buyback. He would have loved to hold it, but it looks like it'll be forced pretty much immediately.
Sick initiation, and that's all because of that ward mid that LGD have on the high ground. If you look on the Radiant side,
Are fortified.
like they instantly blow up the Oracle and the fight's just over because they have so much damage coming through on their cores. When the Oracle's not alive, Gyro just doesn't have a chance of living.
Radiant's middle
Like they can kite his Satanic duration as well. They wait to use their Halberds for when he used Satanic.
barracks are under attack. Radiant's middle barracks.
When I say Halberds, I mean the one Halberd, but you get my point.
It was a good also initiation. You know, you can see that communication. You can see that all coming together when they throw the Inkswell and get that jump forward onto the Oracle. Like that was their target. That's who they knew they wanted to go for. But now the arrow. Oh, great save! It ends up hitting Chalice behind him though. Chalice taking a long duration arrow, pops the BKB, goes after Setsu. There's the Walrus Punch as well as the last shot coming in from Chalice. Another shot from the southpaw of Tusk. They've got the false promise used onto the Gyrocopter, trying to keep him alive as he already bought back, but Old 11, he'll pop his BKB. He's got the Inkswell, he's running at the Gyro. Snowball comes in, they get the kill on a Super. They look over at the Gyrocopter once again. GG's already been called because the Gyro falls. He's dead for 2 minutes, and LGD will secure themselves game 1.
Yeah, it's a really fun game though, honestly, to watch. Especially early on, that like 10 to 20, maybe 17-minute mark or so in this game where there was all that fighting around the top lane. I mean, both these teams were scrapping hard, and then there was like they called a truce. But just like the olden days, truces tend not to last for very long, and they don't respect them.
History with Ma.
LGD just run at them again. I couldn't think of a specific example, which I'm a little bit disappointed about, but never mind. Yeah, FY died once on this Tuskle game, which I think was pretty impressive considering.
Jesus.
Like, his hero's the one that just goes in first every single time, right?
Yeah, seriously, especially when he had such a early